Hello and welcome to this hangout, this examination of a 1979 album called Unleashed in the East, live in Japan from Judas Priest. They're cutting down some trees over there, so that's where you hear that noise. There's some argument about if the album is authentically live. I mean, I was reading this, that the music is live. Maybe that Rob Halford vocals were overdubbed. I don't know. It sounds good to me. I've been to concerts. They seem similar to what I heard on live albums, but some people say a lot of the music at concerts is pre-recorded. So I don't know. I got tired of going to concerts. I don't go anymore. It's too loud, and I started getting too bored. It's the truth. Anyway, but you know, it's fun while it lasted, I guess, until it wasn't too much fun anymore, and then it didn't last because I stopped going. All right, so I bought this years ago. Came out 38 years ago as of 2017. I like this album because it's got a lot of excitement. It's got a lot of action. It doesn't get dull, boring, slow. I like Kiss Alive, but that can get a little, well, now I don't think that, but when I was younger, I would say, oh, not this part. It's so long and drawn out. But I didn't understand back then drum solos give the band a chance to go use the restroom. And then a guitar solo and bass solo gives the drummer a chance to go to the bathroom. But to me, there were parts of the album that were too drawn out. But anyway, this album, we'll go through the songs and look at it, and you'll see it's exciting. And I would buy it. You can get it very cheap at Walmart. I don't work for Walmart or have any interest with that company. I just know that I can buy stuff and then go pick it up over there, and it's free pickup, and it comes in very quickly. They even have free shipping now with a lot of items. So it starts off, and these are all the songs they made on their first albums, right? Up until Killer Machine / Hellbent for Leather. So it starts off with Exciter from Stained Class. I might get these mixed up, and I'll try to get the albums correct. Stained Class, 1978. Sorry about that. Got knocked off for a moment. It's funny, Microsoft runs those commercials on TV. Are you tired of lag? And I'm thinking, wow, what a company to talk about lag, right? They have bad lag, just internet searches. But ever since Google revamped their Hangouts in April, my audio gets screwed up. So Jacob says, milk in your coffee. What's this milk in my tea? And Bill says, Jacob, is that you, Jacob? Jacob Miller says, yes. How are you been, Bill? Now they're going to talk to each other. Okay, so we'll go back to this. Sorry about that. I hope I don't get kicked out again, but that's the fantastic world of Microsoft Internet Explorer. Okay. So then it goes into Running Wild. Running Wild is an exciting, so the album just goes from one exciting song to the other, really. It comes charging out the gate with Exciter. Like I said, sorry for that little getting knocked off there. If I keep getting knocked off, I'm going to cancel this Hangout. All right. I could see that Explorer was making problems earlier, like it wasn't even working right for simple searches, internet searches. So I said, oh Lord. Okay. So Running Wild. This is turning into a bad thing. I remember after listening to albums like this, and then in the 80s, people saying, listen to this heavy metal, and they would play stuff to me. And I would shake my head and say, nah, I don't know what that is. It's a lot of things, and I could describe it, but it's not heavy metal. I mean, not what I'm used to. Jacob says, when's the next beer hangout? Huh. Good question. Probably never, because we ran out of beers to do. We did everything after 3 years. We went through, and then we started finding brands that maybe 1 or 2 people could get and nobody else could get. And then just people were getting frustrated with that. So they start dropping out, just dropping out of it. They got sick of it. And then they just get tired of it after a while. They do it, it's fun. And then they're probably thinking, well, he's going to do this forever, like to the end of the world. And, well, yeah. And then originally I wanted to do it once a month. And then Paul, who used to do the Hangouts, he had to stop because of the children. He said, do it once a week so it doesn't lose momentum. It'll keep it going. Well, that was good. Once a week was fun, But then we did it, it's 52 times a year. And sometimes we do it more than once a week. And we just like ran out of everything. And you say, no, there's 5,000 breweries, that you can't run. Yeah, I know. But they're so segmented, right? Like you can get them in Boston. You can't get them here. But Unleashed in the East, you can get it anywhere. You can get records. Okay. We'll probably do liquor. Sorry, Jacob. I know you don't do the liquor. But all right. So now we got The Sinner from Sin After Sin, of course. The next one is
Sweet Cinnamon and
The Ripper. Well, it's a famous song from Sad Wings of Destiny, 1976. Now remember, Judas Priest liked to do those archetype songs: Exciter, Sinner, The Ripper, Invader, Genocide, Tyrant. Well, genocide's a concept, but all right. A lot of people maybe they don't like that sonic attack, that relentless Judas Priest metallic heavy attack that keeps hitting you for over 40 minutes on the album, but I like it. That's the kind of heavy metal I like. Experiencing interruptions, find out why. Yeah, I know why, because Internet Explorer, that's why. You have to figure that out. Okay, we'll go on. Jacob says Red Sox or Astros. You mean, do I think who's going to win? I don't know. The Astros pitching isn't so great. You look at their ERA, team ERA, that would make you think they may not win it. But then they're hitting. You got. So I don't know. It's these playoffs is anybody's thing. Who do I prefer? Well, the Astros never won it, so I guess I would favor them just because they never won it. Do I care? No. I root for the Cubs. That's my favorite NL team. My favorite American League team was the White Sox. Okay. Well, they did win the World Series only 12 years ago. All right. So getting back to this, The Ripper. The damn thing will play. You say it's your computer. It ain't my computer. If I get off Internet Explorer and use my computer, it'll play fine, fast, and furious. It's the stinking Microsoft.
In for surprise, you're in for a shock. In town streets, when there's darkness and fog, when you least expect me, you turn your back. And I smile when I'm speaking, the shadows by the wall. I laugh when I'm creeping, but you won't see me at all. Oh, hear my warning, never turn your back on the Ripper. Cause you shake the fear, and never know me from here. I fly and shameless, eternal nameless, except for the Ripper.
He says he's always been more of an R&B guy, rhythm and blues. Yeah, I think it was 1948 or 49, maybe 47. No, it was at that time. You know, it used to be called race music. Rhythm and blues was called race music. But some people in the music industry didn't like that way that sounded. So a guy named Jerry Wexler came up with the term rhythm and blues. And then the Billboard charts started listing those songs as rhythm and blues as opposed to race music. He just recently died, you know, in the last few years, Jerry Wexler. All right. Yeah, Judas Priest is sort of a blues-based band at that time. That changed around 1980. They adopted the new wave of heavy metal sound, which did not appeal to me too much. Now we go to a Joan Baez song. Oh, I'm sorry, a Fleetwood Mac song. Judas Priest liked to cover soft rock. You know, Fleetwood Mac's a little different because they're more like heavy soft rock. Heavy soft rock. Listen to their albums. They're soft, but they're heavy. Things can be soft and heavy. Okay, so now we go to the Green Manalishi with the Two-Pronged Crown. That was a song written by Peter Greenbaum, who left Fleetwood Mac in 1971 due to the onset of major mental problems. And this song was an indication of his mental state because it makes everybody else in the band say, what is that song about? You know, a green Manalishi with a two-pronged crown. They were like, right. Okay. We'll get to that. Let's see what goes.
Now when the day goes to sleep and the moon moves and the night is so black with the dark and cuts, she comes sneaking around, making me do things I don't want to do. I can't believe that she needs my love so bad. Always sitting around trying to drop me mad. Busting in all my dreams, making me see things I don't want to see.
So now you say, wow, they took a soft rock song and made that out of it? Wow, it's incredible. Well, okay, if you listen to, let's say, look up Fleetwood Mac live at Largo, Maryland. Look that up on YouTube, and it's a whole concert. And the audio is pretty good. There's some kind of little, but it's mostly good. Their equipment probably wasn't ideal, but you can get a good idea. And if you listen to their performance, Lindsey Buckingham is shredding it pretty well. He's given a pretty heavy application. You got Stevie Nicks kind of like floating around, sort of like trying to figure out how to fit into that song. But anyway, they give it a pretty heavy application, and then Judas Priest is sort of like, you know, heavierizes it, whatever, you know, metallicizes it even more. Now here's Diamonds and Rust by Joan Baez. Now she was more like a folk singer, right? And they're going back and forth talking about Ham's beer. Okay. Here we go.
I'll be damned. Here comes your ghost again. But that's not unusual. It's just that the moon is low, and you decided to go. Here I sit, hand on the telephone, hearing a voice I know. A couple of lights years ago, and he's straight for the ball. Oh, we both know what it can bring me.
So,
It's just a burst pipe. I can fix.
so take a Joan Baez folk song and make it into a major heavy metal song, which exemplifies the type of heavy metal this particular video hangout producer prefers. Okay, now we go to Victim of Changes, and that's from, isn't that from Sad Wings of Destiny? I don't know, I get mixed up. I think it is. Now, Genocide. Not an archetype song, but a concept song, right?
Genocide!
And this song is called Tyrant, the last one. I always said this was like an early speed rap song because he's like, if you listen carefully, Rob Halford's doing like speed rap, like talk singing more, you know, like in the like 1997, 98, that speed rap. So he's doing that in 1976. This was recorded in 79, but that song came out in 76, Victim, Tyrant. And that's one thing that appealed to me about Judas Priest was that staccato vocal approach from Halford. Like it's all staccato and it's very strange and the timing is strange. And the sound, their music had strange timing. You know, the way the songs will break at a certain point and they'll go into a different, they all have these unusual bridge parts. So it's not just standard dull, like to me, most heavy metal music was standard and dull. Even Judas Priest started to deteriorate, but nobody can last forever, right? And think of new things. But in their heyday, they had that classic for them, like this, I'm saying, unusual song structure that appealed to me and to a lot of other people. So the album closed out with Tyrant, another bombastic song. And then Judas Priest was bombastic and their music was bombastic and their lyrics were bombastic. And some people might say they're droll. Can't you see how droll they were? These guys could not have taken themselves seriously. Yeah, but I don't know if they worried about that, first of all. And I don't know if they got it, you know what I mean? Like you say, your image was awry. But I don't know if they were thinking along those lines, like, you know, they might have said, what do you mean? So, you know, they might have been like lost to, it's like, don't most people wear blouses and little neckties when they sang Exciter on a tour in 1978? Or kimonos and floppy straw hats? That's what they did, and then they adopted their leather look. So they were more in, I guess, into the sound. Maybe the sound doesn't, it seems droll to you. Okay, let me see any comments. Bill McIntosh says, you're a savant, Ronald, a rock and roll savant. Well, I don't know about that. Some of my subscribers might say he's an idiot savant. Oh, well, I'm having fun. Okay, I'm just a rock and roll fan. All right. And you know what I posted on Rock and Roll Club today? What album released in 1980? Iron Maiden, the debut album from Iron Maiden, 1980. I posted that today. And I got to, when I get a chance, I'm going to go walking. I don't want to get back. I got to listen to all the songs on Rock and Roll Club because I got to catch up. I always listen to everybody's songs, the good, the bad, and the ugly. They don't always listen to mine, but I listen to everybody's song. So I got to go through that. And that's a near perfect album, Iron Maiden. And then Killers from 81 is almost as good. I never could really get used to them after Paul Di'Anno was fired. Okay, so 35 years later, I'm still trying to get used to Bruce Dickinson's vocals. I said, when he took over, I was like, I'm not too sure about this guy. So I've been saying that for 35 years. I'm not too sure about this new guy. And I saw a video where he was singing Murders in the Rue Morgue. It was Murders in the Rue Morgue, but it was Bruce singing them. It just didn't seem right. It's like when Ronnie James Dio sang Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath songs. It just didn't seem right. Him singing Paranoid. It just doesn't work. Doesn't work. Okay. On to and finishing up with Tyrant. Well, what a fantastic album. Live albums don't get much better than that. Whether it's really live, I don't know. Like I said, I've seen Judas Priest live concerts, right? Live, you know, they seem about the same, at least in the heyday, right? Now, we'll read a few more comments. Chris Ezel says, what's up, Jay? Great Priest live album. Boy, that's for sure. Jerry's greeting says, Ronnie James Dio was great, but I agree. I can't listen to him with Sabbath. Just doesn't seem right to me either. Chris says, amazing vocals. Oh, yeah, Rob Halford was just in his heyday. I think you say, wait, do you mean, hold on a second now. Do you mean you don't like him singing Ozzy Osbourne songs with Black Sabbath, or you don't like him at all with Black Sabbath? Because they made some great songs like Falling Off the Edge of the World. Now, I agree, everything Dio touched became Dio. He joined Rainbow, and they became Dio featuring Rainbow. He joined Black Sabbath, and it became Black Sabbath featuring Dio, or Padavona, his real name, Ronnie Padavona. And then Dio featuring Dio. So, yeah, you just had that dominant stage presence, and for the short little guy, right? The dominant stage presence and just creative presence. So, yeah. But I thought they made great songs, you know, like Country Girl. And, I mean, they couldn't get along with each other until they got old enough to realize how silly they were being. But then it was too late because they were too old and they had run out of ideas. And if you listen to their Heaven and Hell stuff, you know, from 2007 and 8, 9, 2000, you know, that it's more like Black Sabbath plays Black Sabbath. You know what I mean? Like, let's make some songs that sound like our old stuff, but it's not really that good. I don't. So anyway, that's it. Great album. What's next? I don't know. Maybe in a month I'll do another album. I don't know. Album review. People seem to like these.
about closing the door. And lately I think of it more.
You think this isn't good? Oh, the Ozzy songs. Okay, thank you, because about to say, I mean, this is like great. Falling Off the Edge of the World is not just good. It's like, I mean, when I first heard this album, I was like, whoa, whoa, time out. The drama. I thought that when I first heard this. The drama. The drama of Black Sabbath. And then later, you know, the idiocy of Black Sabbath. But, you know, when they had it going on, they had it going on. Unleashed in the East, Mob Rules. There's some albums I can listen to once a week. I just would not get tired of them. There's some I can listen to once every 10 years and tolerate. You know, like once every 10 years, I'll play the whole album and I'll say, okay, 10 more years, I'll listen to it again. Unleashed in the East, I could never get tired of that. I mean, if I listen to it every day, but I could listen to it once a week, I wouldn't get tired of it. Rumors, I would never get tired of it. You know, every time I go to a grocery store, they're playing a song off of it. You don't really have to buy Rumors. You just go to a grocery store and shop, and you'll hear the whole album. Well, you won't hear Songbird and Oh Daddy, but you'll hear most of the album. But yeah, I mean, I could listen to the album. I wouldn't get tired of it. Let's see. Mob Rules, I wouldn't get tired of that after once a week. Pink Floyd's album Obscured by Clouds, the music from the movie La Vallée, Obscured by Clouds, 1972. I couldn't get tired of that. No, once a week, I would never get tired of that. Jefferson Starship, Red Octopus, or Dragonfly. I would never get tired of that once a week. Telecon or Dance from Gary Newman. I wouldn't get tired of that. I'm just thinking of stuff, if I listen to it once a week, I wouldn't get tired of it. Imaginos, the rather obscure but great album from Blue Oyster Cult, 1988. To me, their best album, Imaginos. I'll never get tired of Imaginos, because they have so many good songs on that album. Like the best song on the album is the Siege and Investiture of Baron von Frankenstein's Castle in Wisteria. And it's got an all-star cast on that song. You look that up. The Siege and Investiture of Baron von Frankenstein's Castle in Wisteria. Okay. I guess I could think of some more, but there's no purpose in that. All right. So thank you for watching this video. it says, and so did Ian Gillan on Born Again. Too bad it was such an awful production and mix. That was pretty bad. But he said, look, I didn't know anything about this music. I didn't care about the songs. I didn't know what all this was about. He said, I didn't even really like Black Sabbath. They just asked me, did I want to be in the band? And I said, yeah, what the hell, you know? And so he said he couldn't even remember the lyrics, although that he couldn't remember lyrics when he was with, apparently when he was with Deep Purple, and that caused a lot of like fighting with Richie Blackmore, and you don't want to cross Richie Blackmore, right? But he would forget lyrics. And apparently David Lee Roth would do the same thing on stage with Van Halen. That would just, Eddie Van Halen just get furious about it. Like, why can't you remember the lyrics? And it'll cause a lot of friction. But I don't know. Those songs were kind of weak, honestly. That 1983 album, those songs were kind of weak. It was just it was a mix match to me. Oh well. But I thought Seven Star and the Eternal Idol were as good as Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules. I thought they were. They didn't. No one bought them besides me and about 2 other people. And then they got, you know, Warner Brothers released them from their contract or didn't renew the contract, and then Black Sabbath just faded into obscurity. And now they did the nostalgia circuit. But yeah, those were very strong, very competent albums. Well, oh well, enough reminiscing. All right, so Unleashed in the East, live in Japan. Hey, don't just listen to it, buy it. I always buy albums. Like if I like an album, I buy it. You know what I mean? I buy it. I buy it because they should get the money. I'm listening to it. Why should I steal their music for free? I buy it. That's why I got all these in the other room, all these albums. I buy it. All right, enough. Thanks for watching this video production.